I'm in my pretty girl era.
Bowl full of liquor, then we die in it. Pull them to the side, let me slide in it.
Hello all, and thank you for tuning into another video. On today's video, we are going to be talking about how to level up and reinvent yourself. Starting at number 5, so you can make sure you watch the whole thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're done. You got time for that. I got faith in you. I got faith in you. You gonna stick it out. Watching the video to the end helps me out a whole lot. Okay, because I'm trying to get my watch hours up. So if you can watch the video all the way to the end, I would greatly appreciate it. And subscribe while you're at it. All right, so let's get into this video. Number 5 is to say, fuck other people's opinions. Forget other people's opinions and learn how to forgive and move on fast. The hardest part about leveling up is forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to grow. I would say these other people's opinions ain't paying your bills, but fuck other people's opinions. Shit, that's all I got to say about that. Try your best to forgive yourself the way that you forgive others. You give people so much grace, and you should apply the same grace to your life. Stop being so hard on yourself and start trusting you. Basically, you're just going to have to learn to accept you for who you are. Number 5 is to forgive yourself and forgive others and do it fast. When you forgive a person, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go back to the same relationship you had prior to whatever happened that caused you to feel some type of way about the person. That's the simplest way I could put it. That's how I'm going to simplify it. And like Steve Harvey says, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. Number 4 is to do what you love and put all your energy into what energizes you. And also keep in mind that leveling up and reinventing yourself is an internal journey. It's not an external journey, although once you do the internal work, you'll start to see external results. That's how I like to put that. Do what you love. That's number 4. Number 3 is to try to change your perspective on what's right and what's wrong. Because the way that we can simplify that even more is what works for me and what works for you. People created what's right and what's wrong, like by putting out rules and stuff out there. Just because something works for you doesn't mean that it works for another person. That's how we have disagreements. Best example I can give for number 3, as far as changing your perspective on what's right and wrong and looking at it as what works for me and what works for you, is Moneybagg Yo when he said,
you can do whatever you want, but I ain't going for it.
Basically, you could do whatever you want to do, but I'm not going for it. How this applies to leveling up and reinventing yourself is that it gives you space to not take things so personal. And just because it doesn't work for you and you are expressing that, it keeps you from forcing your opinion on others, which allows you to live a more peaceful life. And to me, I feel like when you're leveling up and reinventing yourself, you are leaning towards a more peaceful life and not taking things so personal. So I hope that made sense. What? That's just too fast. No pun intended. Go ahead, subscribe while we at it. And thank you for getting, oh my God, we almost at number 1. Ah, shoot. Thank you for getting closer to the end. You the bomb ziggity or whatever. Bomb ziggity zorg ziggity zang. Sorry. Didn't mean to get that excited. Number 2 is to figure out your morals and values and to gracefully hold yourself accountable. Figure out what you will and won't go for. And then if the opportunity presents itself where you would have to enforce that boundary, stand your ground. Over time, it gets easier. And then the consequence of enforcing your boundaries is you'll be surrounded by a bunch of people who respect your boundaries. And then if someone tries to come in and does it, you can let them know. You'll be a pro because you respect your morals and your values, and you know what you will and won't go for. That's number 2, period. We is leveling up. We ain't going for disrespect, and we ain't going for people stepping all on our boundaries and stuff like that. We not going for that. We ain't doing that. Now we're on number 1. Number 1 is to choose you every time. And one thing that kind of helps me with choosing me, because sometimes I don't know why, I don't know where I get this from. That's some research that I may have to do. Transparency moment. I've always felt like it was noble to sacrifice myself in a lot of situations. One thing that helped me go to the next level and feel like I'm reinventing myself and becoming the woman of my dreams is because I had a hard time explaining it. So I may insert the Joel Osteen clip here.
You're carrying all this weight and pressure trying to fix things that don't have anything to do with you. Trying to appease someone that doesn't have your best interest at heart. All this pressure trying to keep him happy, and at the same time, I wasn't happy. Instead of me being unhappy, I decided to let him be unhappy. Maybe it's time for you to be happy and let that other person be unhappy.
It's okay to allow somebody else to feel those feelings. But an example would be the Beyonce song. The first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. A lot of people put themselves in a bad position just trying to help another person. Instead of doing that every time, put yourself first for a change. Just because you can't help a person doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Don't feel ashamed for not being able to help people. Help yourself first, and then you'll be able to help others. Bless me, God, not just for me, but so everyone around me can have everything they need. That's really the best way to level up, is to choose you every time. Make sure you straight before you get everybody else together. Put your mask on first. Yes, before you put anybody else's mask on. Thank you all for getting to the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you all for watching. Bye-bye. Mwah.